What's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk to you about the coolest camera I have ever seen for filming skateboarding. I know I say that about every camera that I review on this channel, but this thing is unlike anything I've ever seen before. The coolest thing about this camera is you don't even have to point this camera in any direction, and you literally can't miss the shot. This is the Insta 1X. This thing films in every direction with every different kind of lens at the same time. And you can choose the angle and what you're shooting after the fact. In post, when you're editing the video, you can choose the direction that this camera is facing. It's also one of the smoothest cameras I've ever seen for filming skateboarding. This is just the perfect camera for filming skateboarding. You literally don't have to worry about holding the camera in a certain position. All you have to worry about is skating and following the person. You can hold the camera at any angle, pointed in any direction, and you can still get the shot because you can frame it later in post. This opens up shots that you could just never get before with any other kind of camera, because you can make fake camera movements. You can change the direction while you are editing. So after you've already filmed the clip, it's crazy. So this thing shoots in 5.7K, so it's more than 4K, but that's the entire 360 frame. So you're not going to be viewing this in 5.7K. You're going to be cropping into that image. You know, you're going to crop in different places. If you crop in too much, it's going to be below 1080. It's going to be below HD. But if you don't crop in as much, you know, you can get a decent image even cropped in. This is the widest angle camera that I've ever filmed with, so it's much wider than any fisheye you're going to be able to get for any other camera, because you're seeing everything. You're seeing an entire 360 degrees, so you can't get wider than seeing everything in every direction. This is actually the best camera I've ever found for filming yourself, because you can just set this camera on a tripod and it films in every direction. So later in post, you can follow yourself perfectly and get different shots from the same clip. So there are a lot of cameras that I use that I actually can film myself and track myself with, like DJI Osmo Pocket, any kind of drone. There's a bee about to land on my head. But yeah, this thing is better than all those for tracking yourself. Okay, this bee is really wanting to land on my head. Okay, it's gone. Because you're never gonna miss the shot. You can reframe it later in post and track yourself perfectly, so you don't have to worry about a mechanical gimbal moving around and following you. Another really cool thing about this camera is it actually makes the selfie stick that you're holding the camera on invisible. So you can skate holding this camera on a selfie stick and it just looks like this floating camera is following you, like a drone shot. It's crazy. There's a lot of cool, interesting, gimmicky things you can do with this camera, like Tiny Planet videos, but I think all that gimmicky stuff is gonna get old really fast if you just want to film in that style. But you can do some really cool artistic things with this camera by just switching the angles to different angles back and forth and stuff like that. So I feel like the best thing about this camera is that you're never gonna miss the shot. So I think this camera really shines when you are just trying to film like a standard regular video and not miss anything. Another thing you can do with this camera is you can actually export your videos in 360. So the viewer has the ability to move around in the frame. You know, they have the control over how the camera is going to move. So that's really cool too. For some situations, that would be really cool. Like say you were going to do a tour of a house or abandoned building or something like that, a tour of a skate park, a 360 degree video where the person has control over which angle or how they're looking at the image. You know, they can just move their phone around and look in different directions. That would be really cool for those type videos. But as far as a standard skateboarding video, I think the best way to do that is probably just choose the best frame, choose the frame that looks the most pleasing to your own eyes, and export it that way. You can also just set this somewhere, use it as a static camera, and the fact that you can actually change the shape and the type of lens that you're looking through, you can make things look bigger or smaller than they actually are. So you can make a ramp look a lot bigger and steeper and oververted, a lot bigger than it actually is in real life. You could also make a ramp look a lot smaller, so you have to think about that when you're editing the video. So there you go, guys. That's my opinions on the Insta360 One X. It is the coolest camera I've ever seen. At this point, I am super hyped on filming with this thing. I'll be putting a lot more footage in my reviews and my tutorials with this camera because it's just a lot of fun to film with. So enjoy some of this 360 footage. Some of it towards the end is color graded. It has a log profile. I don't really like the log profile as much as I do like my Sony cameras or even the DJI Osmo, but you know, it has a log profile. I just haven't had enough time to get used to it and, you know, understand how to color grade it as much as I have some of my other cameras. So the standard color profile, it looks great. So I'm probably going to film most of my videos with this thing in that standard color profile just because it's got great colors, get great video quality, and it's a really awesome camera. So I hope you guys enjoy some of this footage, and if you guys enjoy this kind of content, reviews, tutorials, and just videos about what I'm learning as I grow as a skateboarder, then hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.
you shining through the window. You say, I know everything that you've done. I was with you in the desert. I was the battles that you won. Even the light knows its own course. Is this misery that finds us, wraps itself around our neck? We're believing in a savior. Will he not save us again? I want you more than I could ask you for. Cast all your cares on him who knows